basketball fans. Matt Lawrence of HopkinsSports.com. Joining me now is head men's basketball coach Josh Loeffler in his first season with the Blue Jays, taking Johns Hopkins to the Centennial Conference semifinals this weekend. Josh, I want to start there. The last 2-3 weeks, you guys have been battling between UF&M and Swarthmore at the top of the Centennial Conference, and also battling for NCAA position. So how important is it to play these must-win games at the end of the season, leading into postseason play, knowing that you've already basically been playing these type of tournament games already?
I think that we try to keep things pretty simple. We try to prepare one day at a time, one game at a time, all the cliches. But by doing that, you keep the main thing the main thing. You keep the process of preparing for a game and getting better in the forefront of your mind, as opposed to focusing on the magnitude of the game or any of those things. And I think because our guys have done a good job of that, they put themselves in a position where these games do matter a great deal, because they took that approach throughout the year. And we were lucky and fortunate and had a good enough season to put ourselves in a spot where we had enough wins going into the back end of the season that these games down the stretch were very meaningful. I think that playing in meaningful games with great crowds on your home floor, away, down the stretch, provide a real learning experience for the guys and for everyone involved, because it's only by playing in big games and succeeding or failing that you can figure out how to go about it the next time. And those experiences are huge in terms of building confidence, or if you're not as successful, teaching for how to go about it the next game. So I do think that the experience of playing these huge games is great for our guys in terms of just giving them feedback and something to fall back on as we head down the stretch.
As we transition, looking ahead to tomorrow night, taking on Franklin Marshall team. Last time we saw them was here at Goldfarb in a thrilling 96-93 double overtime win. It was a raucous crowd here at Goldfarb. And now you're going to go up to Swarthmore, taking on Franklin and Marshall at a neutral site. Obviously, we've seen this Franklin and Marshall team twice. We've seen Federici for 4 years now. What is it that you guys need to focus on specifically to knock off this Franklin and Marshall squad?
Well, I think that so much of the conversation about Franklin and Marshall focuses on Brandon Federici, because, let's be honest, he's the all-time leading scorer in league history, and the conversation rightfully focuses on him. But they have a very nice team, and they do some things that get less attention, that are very problematic for any of their opponents. They play terrific pressure defense in the half court and some selective pressure in the full court as well. They really try to take you out of your rhythm. They have some terrific defensive players and a very good game plan defensively, so we'll have to prepare for that. And like all of Coach Robinson's teams that have been successful, which is pretty much every Coach Robinson team, they are very physical, and they are very solid in terms of, gaining extra possessions through rebounds and turning their opponents over. So those are some things outside of the very obvious points on the board by a tremendous player that we're going to have to pay special attention to.
And now I just want to take time to kind of look back on your first season. When you think of when you came here last spring and you took these guys in, what is the biggest difference, maybe mentally or physically, that you've seen from this team from the moment that you took over to where we are right now in the season?
Well, I think that we had a group that didn't know what they really were when we came together in the spring, partially because we weren't complete. We hadn't added the freshman class yet, and no one truly knew what this freshman class would look like and was capable of. And I think one of the really neat things about this year's team, and one of the things that has made us successful, is that we have a great core of leaders in our upper class, but we've added freshmen who have really contributed from the start of the season. So I think we've seen those younger players gain confidence and grow in their roles. And I think we've seen returning players in our sophomore, junior, and senior classes who have grown into larger roles. And I think that's the most enjoyable thing for our staff, for our team, has been watching players who didn't play as big a role in previous seasons earn opportunity and grow into positions where we count on them night in and night out, practice in and practice out, to contribute and contribute to win.
Should be a great one tomorrow night from Swarthmore. Johns Hopkins and Franklin and Marshall, number 2 against number 3. You can watch it live on the Centennial Conference Digital Network. Head coach Josh Loeffler, thanks for your time. Congratulations on a great season.